This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your host, Brandon Cook and Nick Harrington.
And welcome to the Hockeytown West podcast, post-game recap of Game 1 of the AHL Central Division Finals between the Grand Rapids Griffins and Milwaukee Admirals. I am one of your hosts, Brandon.
And I'm Nick.
And good vibes right now. Good vibes.
Vibes are through the freaking roof right now. I'm so excited.
Dude, to start off the way the Griffins did in this game, take a 1-0 series lead over the Milwaukee Admirals is huge. And the way they did it is even crazier, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But before we jump into that, sir, how are you doing this evening?
We're sucked. Let's move on. I finally got some light at the end of the tunnel of okay, when is this gonna end? Of when is my day off gonna happen? And then I've got so much other stuff that I have to start planning of I got this huge yard project. I'm trying to get the dog into the vet. I'm trying to get a haircut. I'm trying to do all this other stuff. And I'm I can't plan it. I need Joe Martinez from A&E to come out and hook up my air conditioner too. And he told me October. So I was like, bro, I could have had air in the winter. So just I got all this stuff and I just got to get it done and I got to get some hockey in. And so, but coming home, seeing the third period, it's what I was able to actually catch and see. It was huge. I'm stoked, beyond over the moon.
Yes, same here. You didn't miss a ton in the first two periods, honestly. It was weird. Well, let's get the quick rundown here and dive into this one. So, with this one, Griffins obviously starting on the road as Milwaukee has home ice advantage this round. And in the first period, 4 minutes, 48 seconds in, Carter Mazur gets his second of the playoffs from Austin Czarnik and Jonathan Berggren. A bang play.
Beautiful.
Absolute beauty. And that's the way you start a game right there. That was perfect. And then about 10 minutes later, we warned you, Zachary Leroux, he's dangerous. Somehow ends up on a breakaway. Looked like he was cherry picking a little bit, breaks through the defense and scores. You can't give that kid a breakaway. He's going to bury it every time. Nothing Coast could do there. Going to the first intermission, tie game. Griffins lead in shots 6-4.
Weird.
Second period, 3 minutes in, Zach Aston Reese, after a beautiful saucer pass from Marco Kasper, and Dom Shine getting the assist on this, but Aston Reese gets his first point of the playoffs and first goal of the playoffs. And, about 16, 17 minutes later, Tomasino from Milwaukee gets his fourth of the playoff, ties the game. Head into the second intermission, tie game, but Milwaukee outshoots Grand Rapids 12-4 in the second period. Oof. Yeah. Come into the third period, and the game is tight. Start of the third, Milwaukee came out, Mutter throwing the body, trying to set the tone for his team. I love how Grand Rapids responded by not feeding into it at all. And at 9 minutes, 57 seconds into the period, Marco Kasper with an absolute beauty gets his third of the playoffs, assisted by Brogan Rafferty, who had a great pass to get it to him, and William Vollinder, who made a fantastic play in the Griffins' end to kick off this play to begin with. Just all around, beautiful play. All three goals to this point for Grand Rapids highlight real goals.
Oh, yeah.
As crazy as it was. All of Milwaukee's, except for the breakaway, greasy, in-tight goals. Grand Rapids just highlight real beauties. And then, of course, at the 19-minute, 26-second mark of the period, Joel Esperance gets his first goal of the playoffs in the empty net, with Marco Kasper and Albert Johansson assisting. And the Grand Rapids Griffins win this game 4-2, getting outshot by Milwaukee 27-14, as Sebastian Cossa, who got the start in this one, stops 25 of 27. Beautiful night for him. His opponent at the other end, Troy Grosnick, light night for him, stopped 10 of 13. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Griffins take a 1-0 series lead.
So you're not even going to mention that Joel Esperance broke the power play streak tonight?
That wasn't a power play goal. We'll get there. The vibes are good right now, Nick. Let's not ruin it.
That's what I'm saying. This was huge. This was huge. Power play goal in.
Sure, if that breaks the streak, then great for us. If not, whatever. We'll get there. Let's start the positives here. The biggest positive. No. The biggest positive is one of the biggest guys in this team, Sebastian Cossa, man. What a game from him. Outstanding saves all throughout the night. The two goals that beat him, I can't fault him on either of them. And he had a little bit of feistiness to him tonight because Milwaukee in the third period was trying everything they could to rattle him. He got bumped into a couple times and sat on once. And when he got up after getting bumped into the last time, definitely gave the kid the like, what, try me again. Like, let's go. And I don't think they paid attention to the Rockford series because when he got run by Cini, that's really where Kosa locked in and just took over the series. So they did it in game one to him. I think that's the most dangerous mistake they could have made. He's fired up now. He's going to be locked in. Good job, Milwaukee. You got him going.
Yeah, I think the issue here was they took his mask off. I don't think he likes being out there without his mask on because as soon as that thing came off, he was like getting ready to murder somebody, he looked like. But I mean, this is the Kosa that I was looking for all last series. Is like you come in, we get outshot. I would say he was the best player of the game. I mean, he was third star. He had 27 shots against him, and he saved all but 2. I like that. That's the Coast that I wanted. That's what I wanted to see. And the team defense, too, to be able to help him out. You didn't see the deflections. He was seeing the puck well. He was able to track it. Looking at the shot chart, I mean, all of them were pretty much near the blue line. And every time they did wind up from that aspect, like you couldn't see a body in front of him. He was able to see the puck. He was able to stop the puck. He stopped the puck hard tonight, you know? Like,
I love that quote from him. You can't stop the puck any harder.
no,
Oh,
but he did. Like, he stopped the puck so hard tonight, and it was great. Like, this is the momentum. You go in, you steal a game at Milwaukee, and now all we got to do is win our 2 home ones. Like, how can we not at that point, you know? And who knows? Maybe we steal another one in Milwaukee.
yeah. My prediction for the series was that we lose game 2 if we're going to go to the 4 games here, but we'll see what happens. Like, Milwaukee's a tough barn to play in when it's full, and this game being on a Wednesday night in Milwaukee only brought in 3,200 people, but game 2's on a Monday, so I guess we'll see what the fans show up there for that one. If we could steal 2 on the road here, oh my god, dude, I'll feel so good about this series, so good, because on a Wednesday in Grand Rapids and a Friday in Grand Rapids, the van's gonna be bumping. It's gonna be chaos, and we'll get there eventually, right?
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here, but this is a great way to start because that's exactly what you wanted to see from Coast. Like, his confidence is through the roof. You could see it in the little pregame interview with Bob. That quote that'll go in my all-time top 5 goalie quotes ever. Just, you can't stop the puck any harder, so you keep working on the fundamentals. Like, oh god, I love the kid. He's so good. But a point that Dan Watson pointed out to everyone at the beginning of the game in his coach's show was that Milwaukee they're dangerous up close. They're dangerous around the net. If you let them get in close, they're extremely dangerous. So they got to defend to that. And Grand Rapids did an incredible job defending tonight and keeping them out to the outside of the zone, keeping them up near the blue line, keeping them away from the slot. Like, they just did a fantastic job. And when they got close to the slot and were dangerous, Kosa was there and stood on his head. So they played exactly like they needed to against a team that they studied very well over their long break, I would hope so, and clearly knew how to play these guys. Griffins weren't fast tonight. There was definitely some rust there. They weren't as fast as they could be, and they handled Milwaukee the way they did tonight. If Griffins get up to the speed they were at the end of the Rockford series, Milwaukee's in serious trouble. And that speed is only going to come from guys like Marco Kasper, who had a freaking fantastic game tonight from him. A goal and an assist, and his goal was just beautiful. There was no space there to tuck that in, and he just tucked it in over Grosnick's glove. My God. And again, just being a menace around the net tonight, getting in people's faces, laughing at them, causing chaos, but doing it in a way that he doesn't get called. He had a perfect game tonight in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I want to touch on one aspect that you just said is like Waddy said that they're good up close. They only had 6 shots in the slot, and 2 of those were goals, and 1 was a breakaway. So like they did a great job of keeping it away in tight with they stuck with the game plan. We knew that they would be ready tonight. We knew that there was going to be rust based off of 10 days off in between. So,
Yeah.
like, it was to be expected, but then to come out and still, like, you got outshot, but I don't think they got outplayed. Like, I don't think they got outplayed. They got outshot, and it was to be able to steal a game 1 is the one that I thought if they're going to lose a game, they're going to lose this one, right off the bat, because of the rust. The momentum is still with Milwaukee. They've got the home ice advantage. Like this was the game that I thought they would lose. But they come out, they get outshot, they still end up winning. They keep it all out. And then Marco Casper, like that goal was sick. I mean, I absolutely, like, there was no way Troy was going to be able to save that. And it was just like, I'm just like, this is just nuts. Like, this is fantastic. Like, I don't know. I was over the moon with it. And one thing I wanted to mention yesterday too, and I didn't get a chance to, but Brogan Rafferty has played very well against Milwaukee too. And he set up the assist on this. And then they had another chance in the third. Oh, no, they had a chance earlier in the third with this too, where Marco went down low, behind the goal, got it back out to Rafferty, and then Rafferty got it back to Marco, and he almost scored again. And so it was like that down low possession style, bringing the defense in to be able to get those chances, like it results in good opportunities for us. I don't know why we don't play with that more often.
I know.
Especially with Casper. Casper's so good down low.
Yeah. I mean, again, going 11-7 like they did again tonight, just like they did against Rockford in the last 2 games, it gave Dan Watson flexibility, and he was definitely trying to figure out what was going to work the best in the first period. You could tell as they were trying to figure things out. Rust-wise, there wasn't much there. We've talked about this before. Dan Watson's used to having long breaks in the first couple rounds of the playoffs. He's used to sweeping, the first couple rounds. So he knows how to keep the boys going, keep the practices tough, and keep them competitive, but also focusing on like their recovery and them taking care of themselves. Like he talks about that all the time. But to be able to come out and do what they did and adjust like that, and by the third period, you could tell that the 11-7 was definitely working, and he figured out that Brogan Rafferty and Michael Casper were just having themselves a night together, and they were on the ice a ton together. And that's exactly what you want to see.
It's going to be crazy if he goes with this 11-7 the rest of the playoffs and ends up winning the whole thing with it. Like,
I mean,
nobody else does this, right? Like, I've never seen it as deployed as much as he has. We didn't see this in Toledo.
It's different when you have 13 prospects at your disposal. At least at the beginning of the season, they had that. There's obviously these other signings, our Black Aces, who aren't playing right now. And then you mix that with the amount of veteran talent we have. 11-7 is the best way to utilize it, especially on the back end. Like, we've talked about it before. Yeah, Josiah Didier was a -2 tonight, but I'm not going to really fault the goals on Josiah Didier. He didn't go out there and make those mistakes. But like the team plays better when he's in the lineup. So you fit him in. Who do you take out? There's no one ahead of him you could take out. You got to go 11-7 if you want him in.
Yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit before we started recording of like, who do you take out if we have another edition? Like, it's tough. And I'm like, where's Matt Luff? Like, I know he played the first 2 games and he's not back in. I thought maybe he would be back in this series, but I mean, you put Didier in. The team responds differently when your captain's out there.
Yeah, I mean, the public answer on Matt Luff is, veteran rule. The real answer is veteran rule mixed with he underperformed in the first 2 games. So who knows what that'll look like. But there is some more flexibility here that Dan Watson can use. But I love what he's doing right now because he's just getting the matchups he wants. Even when he's on the road, he's getting the matchups he wants. And that's tough to do. So all credit to him and the coaching staff and how they did this, how they got through the 10 days off, how they come into a game like this, and everybody overall played well. There was a couple head scratcher plays there throughout the game where you're like, oh, that's a little mistake, but nothing where I'm screaming at the TV over it, A couple other guys to call out, though. Amadeus Lombardi had himself a great night. Really aggressive on the forecheck multiple times where he's in, causing Milwaukee to make mistakes, turn the puck over, and generating scoring chances. And Elmer Soderblom, too, as well. You can tell he's got his speed back up. He's got his stamina back up a little bit after that long illness he had that took him down for a while. This 10-day break was probably the best for him and him alone, just to get that back. And again, aggressive on the forecheck tonight, through the body a couple of times, just doing the things that we like to see him do. And yeah, man. Again, just a whole well-played team game against who's going to be a very tough opponent. The next game is going to be harder. Dan Watson says it after every game. Next one's going to get harder. But if they can continue to overcome adversity and rise up like this, they're going to go so deep in these playoffs, man.
I mean, they've done it all season. They're resilient. I mean, that's the biggest thing about this team this year is that they've been able to respond back during adversity. You saw at the beginning of the season, they couldn't win a road game. Like they went on I think it was 8-10 games without winning a road game. And then all of a sudden they were road warriors all of a sudden.
And have been in the playoffs too.
Yeah, and then on top of that is like they've been able to play from behind. They've been able to play ahead. Like they're ready for anything. Like I don't know what other challenges they're gonna have. Like the next game is the next challenge, but like what else can you throw at these guys for them to like to prove it? You know?
Yeah, and I mean when you look at the other side of the score sheet too, to hold guys like Mark Delgaizo, Graval, Stastny, Foodie, Afanasiev, all of them off of the score sheet. Kemmel too, like keeping them all off the score sheet for Milwaukee. That's huge. Those are all guys we know can score, that we know can set up plays, and they shut him down. Like, yeah, LaRue got his goal. Great. He's going to score that goal every single time, almost, if he gets that opportunity. And Tomasino's goal was just a weird goal. But outside of that, man, like shutting down those guys, that's so key for this Grand Rapids team.
I mean, like O'Reilly, he didn't even show up on the stat sheet. Stastny didn't show up on the stat sheet. There's no shots, no goals, no assists, no penalty minutes. Like that's huge. I mean, not only did they shut him down, they literally didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm interested who played
huge.
against them. Like who was out there? Who was shutting them down?
I'd have to dive into it more, but the whole team was. That's the nice thing about that 11-7 is there's just a constant rotation. So they didn't really know who they were matching up against. It seemed like half the time, and when they did get the right matchups, there was times Milwaukee had sustained pressure. Like let's get that out there. Milwaukee had pressure multiple times, and I said it to myself. I think in the middle of the second period, I'm like, if the Griffins can withstand these little bursts of pressure that Milwaukee's bringing to the table, they're going to win this game. And they kept doing it, and kept doing it, and kept doing it. Obviously, they won the game. Like, they didn't ever let them get sustained pressure for more than maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And then they were shut down. It was back and forth. Griffins would get established pressure in the zone, and then they would establish pressure for a lot longer. And then Milwaukee would get it back a little bit. And like I said, Mutter came out in the third, and he threw some massive hits. Edvinsson got absolutely rocked in the corner. Looked a little weird afterwards, but he seems to be all right. But Mutter came out there and tried to play that game, and the Griffins wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, Casper got his licks in there. Berge started to kind of run his mouth a little bit and jab where he needed to, but again, did it just like Casper does. He's learning. He's learning, folks. Berge's being well-behaved, but still causing chaos, and I love it. But, like, that's all they did to respond to that. They didn't need Didier to go out there and throw massive bombs either to, cause more chaos. They just played their game in the away team's barn. That's hard to do, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, none of this surprised me. I mean, we said it last night. Is like them and Rockford are more of that physical. Grand Rapids and Rockford's that more physical, like get on your skin, try to take advantage, get you in the box, and then score on you. Where Milwaukee's set up the same way as we are, really. I mean, and then you kind of see them stoop to that lower level of trying to get under our skin, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, it did, but it doesn't, because we were on the power play.
I knew you were going to transition back to it. It was a good time to do it as well. Yes, let's talk about the power play. Oh my God. So yes, the empty net goal was a power play goal on the stat sheet. I'm not going to give it to him. I at that point, we were 0 for 10 in the Calder Cup playoffs so far in the power play until that one. So we're 1 for 11. I'm not giving them any more credit than they don't deserve. Like, the power play is atrocious. It's uninspired. It's ugly. You had 10 days to figure it out, and you came up with that? You came up with that? Like, we were told, some people saw it at practice, and it didn't look great. Still, it's not established. The passes aren't connecting. I don't know what to tell you. They couldn't even enter the zone in the second opportunity. They couldn't even get past the opponent's blue line. And I swear to God, if I see Edvinsson turn around and do another drop pass back to his own slot as he's trying to do the zone it, stop. That's the Jeff Blashill special. It really is. Nobody likes it. It doesn't work. Stop.
I mean, I mentioned yesterday that Foodie had I think it was 2 goals. I'll double check. I've got the notes right here, but I said Foodie has 3 goals against us for the regular season, and one was an empty net, and I was like, does that even count? Are we even going to count that? So, kind of like our power play tonight. I mean, they pulled the guy, so it was really 5-on-5. They pulled.
Yeah, it was 5-on-5.
It was still technically 5-on-5. And it's crazy. I don't understand. I don't get why. Like, they need to just the league. What do they say about the NHL? It's a copycat league, right? Who's got the best AHL power play? Like, what team? Where's our video coach? Who's scouting this? Why are we not implementing whatever that team is doing and try that? Because the thing and the crazy thing is, like, I don't know who the best power play is. I'm not even gonna look it up. I don't care. That's for the team to figure out. But what I've said all season and what's worked when they do it is playing down low, getting a guy in front, and starting from behind, because you got the goalie on a swivel. He doesn't know where the puck's going to be. We've got great people that can keep possession behind the net, like Marco Kasper. Dom Shine can do it as well. And Les Bronze can do it as he's a big player too, that he can keep the puck there. And then you can put Elmer right there in the middle of the goal, which is what we've been saying the whole time. Like, there's so many. I don't know why they haven't done this in 10 days. Like, it just blows my mind. Why are we so good 5-on-5, but we cannot do it when it's 5-on-4? I don't get it. Even when we played Rockford a couple in the regular season at the end, like first game of that series, 5-on-5, we're moving the puck, we're passing, passes are crisp, we're keeping possession, we're creating pressure on them in that offensive zone for multiple minutes, or it felt like. Still, like, when you have a guy one more guy on the ice than the other team, should be able to be easier to make passes. Should give you more time to make passes. What the heck?
You should be able to at least enter the frickin' zone, for God's sakes. But, like, you're right. Like, we have a plethora of players who are giants. Park one of them in front of the fucking net and make something happen. You have Elmer Soderblom and Joel Esperance, who down low in front of the net in the crease, their hands are disgusting. They are silky smooth. They are perfect. They know how to get goals from there. Put one of them there for one game on one of the units. Have one unit run it the way you think it should run. Have one unit the way we're telling you to run it. See which one works. I bet you we're onto something there, because we've seen it. The team has done it time and time again. What happened last year when Alex Chason joined this team? The power play was freaking fantastic for a good stretch there, because he parked his ass in front of the net and made shit happen. Do it again. I know no one on this team is Alex Chason, and I swear to God, there's some players on this team that are way better than Alex Chason. No offense to Chason. We loved having him here. Mm-hmm. Do something, though. Get creative. Stop doing this same thing. Stop forcing it. Stop trying to get cute. Establish presence. Throw the puck at the net and have the big guy up front tap it in. It's not that hard.
Yeah. The PP is not that hard.
No, it is not. It is extremely flaccid.
All three of our goals tonight came right in the goal mouth. Like, right there. Right there. All three goals. Right there in the goal mouth. Like, that's just how you have to run the power play.
Yeah, but those goals were different than that, though. Like, they were up close because of we got there, but they're not like, they weren't established setup up there. That's a little bit like, you got to get up in close, man. You do.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. 0 for 10. It's just not. I mean, it's good thing the streak ended, right? We started a new one. We're 1 for 1 in the last one.
Yeah, you got a power play goal of 5-on-5. Congratulations. And the goalie wasn't there.
Hey, they're not going to ask how. They're going to ask how many, right? So this is
1 out of 11.
1 out of
That's
1.
How many?
The streak starts over. Yeah.
Oh my God. This power play is going to be the death of me in this freaking playoffs. I feel it. Like, the vibes are so high. They're through the roof. But that every time I think about that power play, I'm just like, oh, Ben Simon. That's all I can think about.
The other positive, if we want to stick with positives on this, is the special teams. We did kill our 1 power play, or our 1. Wow, we did kill the 1 power play, but we did kill the 1 penalty that we did have. So still looking good on the penalty kill.
And that penalty kill looked really solid. Dom Shine was the best killer on that outside of Sebastian Kosa, but that penalty kill was fantastic. And the penalty kill hasn't been something we've sat here and scratched our head about most of the season. If there's a bad game with the PK, it's fixed by the next game.
Yeah.
Why the power play is so much different, I'll never understand, especially with the level of talent that we have in this team. Like, I just don't get it. But yes, penalty kill was good. And shout out to the officials tonight. Like, they let the boys play. Like, the holding call at the beginning or the second period there in Milwaukee, that was the first power play for Grand Rapids. It was when you have to call. Then the delay of game, like, you can't get around that if they cleared the puck and it didn't get deflected. Like, yeah, that happens. Mazur's tripping call was but the Delgaizo one at the end, he took down Mazur as he went towards an empty net. Like, you got to call that. They sacrificed the guy to avoid the goal. I get it. Because they put the Griffins on the power play and they're like, oh, we have a chance.
And they capitalized.
Yeah, they won the face-off in our zone and almost freaking got it. Oh, yeah. But that's the only negative we can take away from this game. And we're talking about a game where they haven't played in 10 days. And that's really the only negative I'm taking away from it. Like, it's not the worst. It's been a negative all playoffs, so we really can't say much.
All
but
season.
Like, yeah. Yeah. But like overall, just a great result tonight. I'm so happy because I didn't want tonight to be one of those episodes where I'm sitting here like, this player, what the, I'm happy it's a positive one. I love starting off 1-0 in the series, especially in a best of 5. Like, you got 2 more to go to clear this out. Like, especially to do it on the road. That's so
huge.
big. That's huge. Now the fact that the Griffins don't play game 2 till Monday, which is the other biggest head scratcher in the world, I do not understand. I hate AHL scheduling. It sucks. At least in the ECHL, like, they figure it out and just put a game in a practice arena. But, it works.
They figure it out.
Yeah, game 3 at Griff's Ice House. Here we go. Oh, man. No, that would suck. Actually, I mean, if you were able to score tickets, it would be absolutely electric, I have a feeling, but like, it would suck. But yeah, overall, great result for the team. Like we said, they play again Monday in Milwaukee. It's at 8:00 Eastern time. So be sure to follow along with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You'll see all the highlights and updates for those games there. And I think that's all I have for this episode, man. Do you have anything else?
I mean, I wish that we had more shots on net, but we converted on the little shots that we did have. I don't think this is sustainable. So
I don't think it'll be a sustainable problem. Again, the Griffins didn't, or like, it won't be a continuous problem. The Griffins didn't have the speed that they usually do tonight, which was the one part of the rust that definitely showed. When they start using their speed, you'll see more shots generated. This is not going to be the same result. The shots will be much closer. If not, the Griffins will outshoot Milwaukee in game 2, even win or lose. That's my prediction there. I mean, Milwaukee's doing everything they can do to keep the puck away from their goaltending. Keep the puck away from their goaltenders because they're both questionable in the playoffs so far. So I understand how they tried to shut us down the way they did. And the fact that we got 3 on 13, like,
it's impressive.
It is.
Honestly, thinking about it this morning, like, I was listening to everybody else talk about the Griffins today, and they brought up a good points of like, they might just go with Askarov the first game because it's home and they get the crowd and the momentum, and I was like, yeah, that does kind of make sense. So I wonder what they're gonna do for game 2 now with Troy giving up 3 goals tonight on 13 shots.
Yeah, I mean,
shots. That's 13 because the empty nets had a shot.
All I know is when it came to goals against and save percentage before, even with the playoff goalies only on the AHL page, you used to have to go to page 2 to see Coase. And after just 1 game in this round, you do not need to do that anymore.
That's good. That's what I said. Like, this was a huge game for him. So I think maybe he was just nervous last round because he was getting ready to propose. Maybe that was in his head. Like, I don't know. And now he's like, okay, she said yes. Now I can focus on hockey.
The scariest part is remembering which hand to put the ring on, man. He got it, though.
Oh, they'll do it. They'll do it for you. Like, make sure they know. Especially if she's around, like, doing this all the time. Like, been there, done that.
I know one extra thing I wanted to add to this too. So I watched the full Griffins Between the Benches episode 2. Go check it out on YouTube if you haven't yet. And I did not notice that, or did not know until now, that Didier's wife made the girlfriend and wife jackets for all the girls on the team. Like, she did that all on her own for all of them. So like, that's fantastic because they're cool looking, first of all. But like, again, the captain's wife just doing the little bit extra there. Just showing how like much they belong to this team and like how important they are. Like both of them, awesome. I love it. It was cool. It's a cool story to start that episode off.
Hopefully, I get a chance to watch this tomorrow with work and everything.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Maybe tonight I'll be able to tune in and watch it. So,
and outside of that, anything else you want to add?
No, just vibes are high. I was not looking forward to recording tonight with how long of a day this is going to be, but the win helped.
The win always helps. And speaking of winning too, congrats to the Grand Rapids Rise. It advanced to the Pro Volleyball Federation championship game. I had to make sure I had it correct. First ever championship game because that's the first year of this league. But in the first year they've done it, they're playing the championship game. Winning team gets $1 million.
Oh wow!
Yeah, crazy. So congrats to the ladies there, putting GR on the map in volleyball. That was a nationally televised game tonight that they played, and the championship will be as well on CBS Sports. So if you want to check that out, make sure you do.
Where's it at?
It's in Omaha.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where the championship's being played. It's like a Final Four being played there. Omaha is in the championship as well, but GR knocked off the number 1 seed tonight. So that's huge. So congrats to the ladies. What a freaking first season for them. That's fantastic. If you want to check out the championship game, that is this coming Saturday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Like I said, it's on CBS Sports, or if you happen to be in Omaha, go get a ticket and go check it out. It looked like the arena was packed tonight for their game against Atlanta. So congrats to the ladies again. It's awesome. Love seeing GR Sports do well. I mean, if they win a championship and the Griffins do this year, can we just send the gold somewhere else? Sorry. Anyways.
I say we riot if they all win.
I'd say we're not Vancouver, but they only riot when you lose. Anyways, with that, thank you everyone for tuning in to this post-game reaction of Game 1 of the Central Division Finals tonight. We appreciate everyone for listening. And again, make sure you're following us on all the social media platforms to stay up to date on all of the news with the Griffins and the Walleye. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You're going to see a lot more posts across all of those now as we have a way to be more active across all of them at the same time. So definitely go check us out there. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Make sure you follow the show, like us, leave a review. All that stuff is greatly appreciated and helps out the show a ton. So thank you all for that. Thank you, Nick, for getting through this one after a long day. Appreciate you, sir. Everybody, have a great week. We will be talking to you all on Friday for our Toledo Walleye Series preview for their next round against Kansas City. So everybody, have a great couple days. We'll talk to you then. Go Griffs, go Walleye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your host, Nick at GR Hockey Guy and Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey.